Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into a really powerful story about professional reinvention. What happens when a super successful corporate leader, after 3 decades in the game, decides to just start all over again? Let's get into it.
So imagine this. You spend more than 30 years climbing the ladder at some of the biggest companies in the world. You're leading huge global teams. You're managing billion-dollar projects. You are, without a doubt, at the top of your field. What on earth would make you walk away from all that to build something brand new from the ground up? Well, that is the incredible journey of Bonita Payton.
So to really get why she made this leap, we first have to understand who she is today. And, as you're about to see, she doesn't just wear one hat, not even close.
Just take a look at this list. We've got AI strategist, global IT leader, a #1 Amazon bestselling author, entrepreneur, publisher, and a speaker. You see what I mean? This isn't just a career path, it's a whole career ecosystem, and all of it was built on an absolutely rock-solid corporate foundation.
And here's that foundation. For over 30 years, Bonita was a powerhouse inside some major global players. We're talking titans of industry here. ExxonMobil, NBC Universal, Tata Consultancy Services. And she wasn't just working there. She was leading incredibly complex IT operations in some really high-stakes environments.
But here's the thing. Her role was about so much more than just managing IT. She was what you'd call an intrapreneur, someone who actually drives innovation and change from the inside of a huge organization.
An intrapreneur? Well, they basically act like an entrepreneur, just within the corporate system. They're the ones who are always challenging the status quo, figuring out how to make things better, and pushing for new ways of doing things. And this right here, this is the key to understanding Bonita's incredible corporate success. Her success came from getting real, measurable results. Okay, get this number, 70%. That is the massive reduction in downtime she managed to achieve for a healthcare giant. And in that world, downtime isn't just some inconvenience. It can literally have life or death consequences. This just shows you the kind of operational impact she could make. And then there's this. When the entire world went into lockdown, she was the one directing the project to move over 70,000, that's 70,000 NBC Universal employees to a fully remote setup. They did it in just 5 hours, with 0% downtime. That is an absolutely extraordinary feat of planning and leadership, especially under that kind of pressure. And just to put her level of responsibility into perspective, the global service desk project she ran at NBC Universal, it was valued at $5.2 billion. So yeah, this was not some small-scale operation. She was playing in the big leagues, managing the critical infrastructure for a global media empire.
So after decades of proving she could innovate inside the biggest corporate structures imaginable, she reached a turning point. It was time. Time to take that intrapreneurial spirit and become a full-fledged entrepreneur. This slide really breaks down the two roles perfectly. See, as an intrapreneur, she totally mastered optimizing systems that already existed, all within those established corporate rules. But now, as an entrepreneur, she's using that exact same foundation to build entirely new ventures from scratch, using cutting-edge tools like AI. All those core skills, leadership, innovation, they transferred over directly. And then, in January of 2024, she made it official. She launched her own company, Bonita Payton Consulting and Professional Services. This was it, the beginning of her new chapter as a founder and a CEO. But of course, she didn't just start a single consulting firm. Being the innovator that she is, she built a whole multifaceted ecosystem that's designed to empower other people. You see, her new company isn't just one business, it's a whole system. And you can see how every single division connects right back to her core strengths: IT leadership, business automation, and storytelling. She didn't just start a company. She took every single part of her 30-year career and used it to build this incredible, multifaceted brand. So let's zoom in on one of those divisions. She Rises Publishing. This isn't just about her own work. Yes, she's a #1 best-selling author herself with some really impactful books like Little Voices, Big Issues, but her publishing company is actually a platform. It's designed to empower other diverse storytellers and help them get their voices heard. And so much of this work is deeply personal for her. A huge part of her drive comes from her family, her kids, TJ and Saki, and her grandson, Austin. And you can see that personal connection so beautifully in her children's book, Honey the Helper, which was actually inspired by her own emotional support labradoodle, Honey.
It just goes to show how she connects her massive professional ambition with real personal passion and purpose.
So, after all that, what can we take away from this incredible journey of reinvention? Well, her career actually gives us a pretty clear playbook for anyone who's looking to build their own next chapter. If you boil it all down, her journey gives us this powerful 5-step playbook. First, you build deep, undeniable expertise. Spend years mastering your craft. Then, you become an entrepreneur. You don't just work in the system, you innovate inside it. Step 3 is crucial. You have to recognize the pivot point, that moment you know your foundation is strong enough to build something new on. From there, you don't just launch one thing, you built an entire ecosystem around your skills. And the final and maybe most important step, you use that new platform to amplify your impact and to lift other people up. And really, this quote from Bonita herself just says it all. It's about taking those 3 decades of experience and packaging it into tools, strategies, and platforms that actually help other people succeed. Her legacy isn't just about optimizing corporations anymore. It's about empowering individuals. And that leaves all of us with a really powerful question to think about. When you look at your own journey, what's that deep expertise you've spent years building that might just be ready for its next chapter?